You should know that a lot of these tech companies only make money from ads. They give the goods away and have sponsors. But if people can't afford the goods that advertisers are trying to sell, then advertisers lose all of their money. And a lot of these tech companies with really high multiples are going to fail. Hey Do family, nice to see you again. It's Aaron from the Bitcoin Bros, and I'm back with another movie today. For people who are new, we post new Bitcoin and crypto financial information every day. Today's clip is about Peter Schiff, who will talk about why and how we're going to have a big slump. See this video through to the end, and then tell us what you think in the part below. But the Bitcoin Bros don't agree with Schiff. It's always interesting to hear other points of view, even though we don't think we're going into a slump. Type your thoughts in the box below and let us know. Let's play the video. That's a lot of stuff. But I think the most important thing for people to know before they buy, especially right now, is about inflation and how it will affect their choices about savings and investments. It's likely that inflation is a bigger threat now than it has ever been. It's an even bigger part of what we do, which means it affects everything, including what the rewards or returns from your investments will be. I also believe that inflation is a bigger issue now than it was in the past. This is because most of the major countries are in a tough fiscal situation, and sadly, all politicians care only about themselves, their political career, and getting re-elected. This is a fatal flaw in democracy. They make a living doing that. They are officials for a living. So, just like everyone else, they're worried about keeping their job, and most people who work in politics love what they do. They like all the good things about it. People look up to you. It depends on whether you're a citizen of the United States or not. A lot of people would like to have that job. And once you get to Washington, D.C., you like it. I'm sure this is true in every country, in Europe, and all over the world. You like the way of life and the respect that comes with working for the government. You'd like to stay there. So how do you keep your job? You need to keep getting chosen then. Every 2 years, there are elections in the United States. That's why lawmakers care a lot about the polls. They always have their finger in the air to see which way the wind is going. They also don't want to say or do anything that could hurt their chances of getting re-elected. And of course, a lot of money is one of the most important things you need to keep your job. There is a lot of money that needs to be spent on fancy TV ads. You should do things that are good for donors, whether they are a company or a union. Anyone who can give you a lot of money should be taken care of. In this case, the national interest is what these leaders usually give up. Doing what's best for themselves comes before doing what's best for the country. Sadly, we now have fiat currency, which means that states don't need gold, which is real money. They might be able to make money appear out of thin air, right? They could just make it digitally, and it would be ready to go. That lets governments spend money without getting tax money. They have big debts, but they can print the extra money and give it to people. This way they can give people money without taking it away. Now, they don't mind taking money from rich people, because there aren't as many of them, so they don't lose as many votes. However, some rich people can give a lot to their campaigns, which keeps taxes from going up too much. But you asked what inflation is, and the answer is that it's just another tax because it's caused by the government. Also, inflation is probably one of the most confused words in English, which is done on purpose. I believe that governments all over the world led the charge to change the way inflation is thought of. To find the correct meaning of inflation, you can go back to where the word came from and use a dictionary, even one from the 1980s. There is more money in circulation, which is what inflation means. That is all there is to it. When the money supply goes down, this is called deflation. Think about the word inflate. It means to make something bigger, like a balloon. When you blow up a balloon, it gets bigger. When there is inflation, the amount of money in circulation grows. Who makes more money available? Usually governments do this through a central bank, but the central banks of these governments are the ones who make more money available. There is now more money because the money supply has grown. Things cost more when you have more money but not more things to buy. That's just how supply and demand work in the economy. There is less value in each bit of money as there is more of it. Now the prices are higher. Now governments have said that when prices go up, that's inflation. It's not though. That's what happens when prices don't rise, which is what inflation does. When there is inflation, prices go up and down. There are times when prices don't rise, but inflation is still there. That's because prices would have gone down if there hadn't been inflation. If the government causes prices to rise, that's still a loss for the people, because they missed out on the benefits of lower prices. Why? Because prices tend to go down in a capitalist economy. That's why it's so good you keep finding better, more efficient ways to make things, like economies of scale. prices were cut in half if you look at the CPI in the US in 1800 and then again in 1900. The data is there. It was deflation, or prices going down, for 100 years after the crash. That was a good thing. Now, every leader tells us that prices need to go up and that they want inflation to be 2% a year. Why? Every year, prices have to go up. Why don't they always go down? It's better when things cost less, right? It is if the cost of living goes down. However, these politicians are telling the people a lie by saying that prices going up is somehow good for business. Thanks for watching the whole movie. Please click the like button if you liked that one. As I already said, please share your ideas in the section below. Would love to hear from you. But my name is Aaron and I work for Bitcoin Bros. I'll see you in the next one. Enjoy the rest of your day.